to you.
May I have access to share too?
Yes, ma'am. Let
I
me
love you.
let me do it. I think if I make you a co-host, it should.
Ask for it. Yeah.
Let me know if that works.
Let's see, advanced sharing. I don't need advanced sharing. I just need your share regular. Um, that one. There we go. Yippee-ki-yay. And it's on the so yeah, I wasn't sure which product I was doing either. So I hope everyone is still as excited. I actually fell down the rabbit hole of the gut brain axis a little while ago, and I wanted to share this because it's really the backbone of, for me, I guess, why we share. So I hopefully keeping it kind of high level and going over the gut brain axis, but wanted to give you guys all kind of like why, I mean, our sheet, right, which shows like from brain fog to sugar cravings to weight gain to weight loss. Like you're not able to absorb nutrients. You absorb too many nutrients. You have too much inflammation. Your sugar's all over the place. Like our list of potential symptoms, right, is elaborate. It's extensive. And to me, it's explained essentially through this axis. So I wanted to give everybody a little bit of an overview of why we can have so much going on in so many different places. Oh, and I never actually started that. So there we go. Okay. So it's a compilation essentially, and I found a lot of places too in doing the research on this. It's not just the gut brain axis, but it's the microbiota gut brain axis, which really involves everything that it shows here. It's your immune system, it's your vagus nerve, which the vagus nerve is your 10th cranial nerve, and it's your longest cranial nerve. It's your neuroendocrine system, your circulatory system, the enteric system. I mean, there's communication back and forth that's bi-directional in all of these different modalities, systems throughout the body. And it happens essentially, it's broken down here, right? It's locally through the enteric nervous system, which essentially is just everything that's going on, the gut, the small intestine, the large intestine. I have this image here just to kind of give you an overview too. It's even the intestinal cells themselves, right? So like if you eat something that doesn't agree with you, your gut can actually make a response without even sending it up to the brain. So it has its own brain, which is why it's a lot of times referred to as the second brain. It can essentially, like if you ingest a pathogen, something that would be bad for you, like food poisoning or things like that, you can actually get rid of that. You can start vomiting, and your gut can do that without having to send a signal up to the brain. It has the potential to essentially start that action all by itself. And then, as I said, the vagus nerve, which is the 10th cranial nerve, and then the neuroendocrine as well. So you're talking all of your hormones, the short chain fatty acids that are developed when your gut essentially microbiota breaks down the polysaccharides in the food that we eat. So just so much going on all the time, but back and forth and communication um, between, like I said, not just what's happening in our stomach, but the stomach communicating to the brain, as I think we've covered a lot of times in the past, as far as the fact that most of our neurotransmitters are actually created in our gut. So people, think of like serotonin and dopamine and all those feel good chemicals that have a lot to do with mood. Those are actually microbial produced. And I just love this because, again, it kind of captures the gut microbiome, an extensive genetic metabolic potential that underpins its ubiquity in nearly every aspect of biology, maintenance, development, aging, disease. And for anyone, I mean, it's omnipresent. Like I said, it really has a hand in every single system in our body. And I know I went over this a little bit already, but right, these are some of the symptoms, and these are just a few of them, that we list as potential causes for why somebody might need plexus or why somebody might need to look at their gut health. And, I don't know if anybody else has ever come up against this too, but, a lot of people who it's like, okay, I eat 80/20, right? Like I'm eating well most of the time. I work out, I do all the things, like I check all the boxes. So why do I need a probiotic? And again, for me, this is, again, high level overview of why, because I mean, unless you're growing your own food, there's contaminants in the soil, there's contaminants in the air. Even the fresh food in the produce aisles in the marketplace is sprayed with things to keep it, because it's been in storage 4 weeks before it actually got to the fresh section. So, I mean, if you're not shopping at a farmer's market, or like I said, growing your own food, you're still dealing with so many just various pathogens and things that our body is constantly fighting off. And our gut is one of the first places that, essentially, just like our skin being a barrier, our gut is that barrier in so many different ways too. Um, and this just goes through, again, what I've already kind of shown in pictures, but with a little bit more depth, again, of just, the cells communicate, there's communication through the vagus nerve, the, you know, between the vagus nerve to the brain, then you've got, the whole central nervous system too. I think it breaks it down. Well, there's the hypothalamic pituitary axis as well, which again goes into a little bit more with what I started to say too, as far as like the people who are like, I eat well, I exercise, I do all the things, right? But your HPA axis is responsible for cortisol release, and cortisol is your stress hormone. So, if your cortisol is continuously elevated, these are, some people that you're going to see that either they're diabetic, they have high blood pressure, they have dyslipidemia, so high cholesterol, they have chronic inflammation because of the steroids. And this too, I think I might have captured in here, but when your cortisol and your stress is constantly up, your vagus nerve response actually diminishes. And it's the vagus nerve which is responsible for that whole communication between good bacteria in the gut and what's supposed to be going on in the brain, to kind of manage all the systems collaboratively, synergistically. And this gives a little bit more. And I think for me, it was just, I'm very visual, so I know I'm throwing a lot of verbiage at you guys, but this kind of gives the breakdown of the vagus nerve connected to the central nervous system and everything that it impacts. So, I mean, as you can see, the superior cardiac nerve, the laryngeal nerve. So, I mean, different asthma, allergies, I won't use bronchitis because that's an inflammatory or infectious process. But again, if you look at all the central nervous system and how the vagus nerve branches off, you can see again why our list of potential symptoms is so diverse and so broad. And again, I just wanted, I mean, it's both ways. So like people who have IBS, whether it's constipation or diarrhea or colitis, right? I mean, angry gut, automatically angry brain, right? Like if you have inflammation in the gut, you automatically have inflammation in the brain. There are so many articles now too that talk about the fact that essentially just growing evidence that inflammation in the gut and poor gut health has been linked to things like Alzheimer's and epilepsy, schizophrenia, as we know, all the mood, like depression and anxiety and different things like that. But I mean, they can actually look at the consistency of your microbiome by looking at a stool sample and tell you what's going on pathologically in your body. It's really, really crazy. And this, I just wanted to kind of, again, correlate with the, because the vagus nerve plays a role in inflammation. Again, when I was talking about cortisol, right? So like if you have chronic inflammation, you have decreased vagal tone or decreased vagal activation. And then when that's suppressed, essentially you have this continuous barrage. And that's when you get actual, like even things like lupus or any of your autoimmune, because the body just continues to attack itself because the vagus nerve isn't shutting down that inflammatory process. And I won't kill you guys because I know, like I said, I fell down the rabbit hole of gray and white matter. But suffice it to say, this is kind of just reiterating that, when your gut's inflamed, your brain's inflamed. So the brain fog, the mood, as I said, Alzheimer's, dementia, different things like that, MS, They're
I
all.
wish I had some better advice.
And again, just a quote that I really liked: your gut is linked to nearly every facet of your health, from your immune system to your mood. I think I kind of displayed that with a lot of the different visuals and things. But quickly, again, that was kind of like the background of like, okay, why it can be so elaborate for all these different things. And obviously I have triplex, like triple starred there, but like our omegas too, breath work, yoga, meditation, mindfulness, somatic therapy, nature. I mean, these are all different interventions that can be helpful for anybody that has any type of gut problem. And why obviously we think triplex is the best is because really it is a compilation of all these things. So if you look at triplex, it essentially takes the probiotics, the probiotic 5, the prebiotics, which is the slim, which together combine to make symbiotics, which are just those two that work together synergistically. So they work, collaboratively. And then those two, once they've been utilized by the body, create postbiotics. So, I mean, it's a 4-component system with the slim, the probio, and then the bio cleanse, which is again just helping to cleanse everything out as far as the harmful things that we ingest. And then this just kind of, again, goes over that in different verbiage, mixtures of prebiotics and probiotics, the non-digestible fibers, which is what we know that slim is. And specifically, they're things that work together to help improve your digestive tract. And then the postbiotics are the waste products left behind after your body digests the pre and postbiotics. And healthy postbiotics include vitamin B, vitamin K, amino acids, and antimicrobial peptides that actually help slow down future growth of harmful bacteria as well. So if you didn't know those things about the power of triplex, you've actually got symbiotics and postbiotics as well. And it's just inherent in the system the way it was built. And hopefully I didn't really kill you guys with all of that, but I just find the gut-brain axis so fascinating. And I think it explains a lot as to why we have such a crazy array of symptoms and what people can deal with and why. Anybody have any questions?
Rebecca, you're amazing. I think we're gonna have to relook at that a bunch more times. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Rebecca, for this information. One thing that came to mind for me when you were explaining all of this is, in my mind, I kind of visualize it like this, and I don't know if this is correct or not, but plexus tends to have like a domino effect on your health, where it, I feel like I've had a couple of conversations recently with people who start on the products for one thing, like weight loss per se, and then the gut health component enters in, and they will, well, actually, I had a call with one of Noelle's level ones the other day, like a coaching call, and I'm not going to share her name or anything because it's her testimony to share, but she started the products for weight loss, and you mentioned to me that she's like, I used to really, she has IBS, and she's like, I used to really just double over in pain and have all these issues. And she just rattled off 2 or 3 things that around gut health, that how these products are really helping her. And I was like, that's incredible. That's incredible. So I always feel like, this is the foundation, even if weight loss is your goal, this is the foundation, because a lot of these non-scale victories, we call them, with all this other stuff that starts happening in our body that we don't even expect. So I love that. But thank you for sharing your knowledge. And I just want to say, you guys, I have been in Plexus. December last year was my 10-year anniversary. And I have nowhere near, not even close, the knowledge that Rebecca does. So I just want to say that if anybody newer is on the call or anything, you guys joining in, this is the great thing about us having a team and all of us doing this together, because there are never any dumb questions and we are all here to support each other. I text Rebecca regularly, and Rebecca just has joined me on a couple calls recently with, hey, I'm not somebody with a medical background. I'm going to do a call for nurse practitioners. Can you jump on the call with me? So I just want to throw that out there. Please do not feel like you have to be an expert. I still cannot tell you 10 years later every ingredient in every product. I'll tell you why I love it. I'll tell you what it's done for me, but you don't have to be somebody that is a expert per se with all of that. I just wanted to throw that out there. We are here to help you guys and support you through all that. And we have awesome people on our team like Rebecca who we can bounce stuff off of. And of course, we still don't be afraid to refer somebody back to their doctor, you guys. Hey, run it past your doctor, you know, if that's the case. But yeah, I love and appreciate and admire everybody on this team and all of their expertise and experience and everything that they bring to the table with this. So thank you for sharing that, Rebecca.
I have a quick question, if that's okay. I jumped on this call late, so I'm hoping that it was recorded so I can go back and catch all of this. My sister-in-law has lupus, and so she tried these products a long time ago, but she wasn't like really consistent with it. She said like one of them gave her a headache, but of course I think that's just all detox. Tell me, like, while you're on the call, would you just recommend starting, if she were to go back around and try this again, would you recommend trying just Triplex like first, like just do the 3 products first?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it would be best just to start there and then try to add in some other things like as her gut begins to heal. Because that's just all inflammation, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, all autoimmune diseases essentially, sorry, puppies in the background, are just chronic inflammation. I mean, it's just the body attacking itself. I mean, that's exactly, I mean, it's just like autophagy, which is eating itself. And that's what autoimmune diseases are. It's just, you know, the inflammatory process, which is vital for our immune system. It's necessary, but it's when it doesn't get shut down. I mean, autoimmune to me is kind of like cancer, but in a different vein. It's a process that's supposed to have a senescence or a stop date, and it doesn't. So it just kind of goes crazy. And you have to bring that back under control.
Rebecca, would you say that ease would be good to eventually add on for somebody like that who has a really inflammatory autoimmune like that?
Would, but just because she had said that, you know, she struggled a little bit with consistency to get to start with, I always like the foundation and then ease things in once somebody's developed that consistency. But yes,
Definitely. I agree with that too. Keep it simple, get started on a simple routine. That's how most of us started. Most of us started with Triplex and then kind of gradually added things on. But I know I never would have been able to stick with a complicated regimen in the beginning. So that's super helpful. And totally agree with what Steph said. Like, that's the beauty of having a big team like this is we have resources like Rebecca and Brooke, who is also a nurse practitioner. We have other medical professionals on here that we don't have to be the expert. We know the processes, we know the basics. And if somebody has a specific question like Katie has, you know, somebody who has autoimmune or is taking a specific medication, we can always, you know, kind of use our resources here. And I think that's the beautiful part about having a big team like this. All right. So who on here is going to convention? I think there's a lot of people on here who we'll see in person in Vegas next week. This is our last call before Vegas. So next week we do not have a team call, but we'll be sharing, I know I'm going to be sharing live updates and things in our team page next week. And I know Steph and Noelle will be doing the same thing. So this is our last call before convention. And I really just have a really quick message for us tonight. This is something that's really been on my heart. This is something that our kind of team chat has really, really been honing in on and really focusing on, and that's reaching out about the business and really just focusing on this idea of network marketing versus affiliate marketing. And like I said, we're getting ready to go to Vegas. This is our biggest event of the year. We're going to be having trainings. We're going to have new products. And one of the big things that we do at convention is just celebrating those big rank ups. The jewels will get to walk across the stage. I remember my first convention, I was sitting with Stephanie. I was a gold ambassador. I had just met her. And I remember when all the emeralds got up and walked across the stage in Vegas. And I don't know if I actually looked at you and said this to you, Stephanie, but in my mind, I said it. I said, I'm going to be on that stage one day. I said, I don't care how long it takes me or what it takes. I said, I will be on that stage one day. And it just is such a powerful vision caster. And when I think about when I think about convention, I think about two things. I think about going all in, and I think about life-changing opportunity. Like those are the two things that come to mind when I think about convention. And so, you know, as we're kind of getting in and going to be all jazzed up next week and probably in tears at some of the sessions, I inevitably cry. Somebody makes me cry at every convention session. And we're talking about casting vision, and we're talking about community next week. I think it's a really good time for us to remember what exactly it is that we do and what exactly this opportunity is built on. And that is network marketing, not affiliate marketing. And I think sometimes the waters can kind of get muddied, and we, you know, kind of mistake building an affiliate business versus a network marketing business. And while they're similar, and when you hear our opportunity events, you'll hear us talk about how affiliate marketing and network marketing are similar, but network marketing is really affiliate marketing on steroids, right? You know, and I think when we begin in the beginning, most of us come into this and we have a great experience with the products, and we get to silver. We cover our products on our affiliate link. We make $300-400 on our affiliate link. But most of us on this call tonight are what we would call business builders. And by definition, the word business builder means something completely different than somebody who shares a link in their stories or somebody who shares a link on a post. And so for those of us that kind of fall under that category, who would consider ourselves to be business builders, at the very core of what it is that we do is we are becoming the best version of ourselves, and we're helping others to develop into that and become the best version of themselves. We are not here to just put up a couple of links and stories every couple of weeks. We are not just social sellers. And I have made this mistake over the past 8 years. I have made the mistake of, you know, minimizing this opportunity for the sake of trying to simplify it for people. And I have called this affiliate marketing, and I have dumbed it down. And while, yes, there is a piece of this, and that's how we get paid. We partner with an amazing company that has amazing products, but that's not who we are at the core. And when we show up on social media, I think we need to show up as who we are, not what we do. What we do is we get to share amazing products. We get to share links, but who we are is we are leaders who are becoming the best version of ourselves and showing other people how to do that. And I think when we're showing up in these spaces, when we're sending reach out messages, when we're showing up on social media, even, we need to show up with that mentality in mind. And that's why, if you haven't already, and I think most of you here have, if you're in our team chat, you know, it's like a personal development train. But if you haven't already, you need to throw yourself into personal development. Sarah Marble was on here a couple of months ago, or a couple of weeks ago, Diamond Ambassador. And I think she said that she read something like 50 books between Emerald and Sapphire, because she essentially hit her leadership lid. And we talked about how we all reach that leadership lid at one point or another. Some of us hit it at silver, some of us hit it at ruby, some of us hit it at diamond. But sooner or later, we are going to hit our leadership lid, and we are going to have to expand that, and we're going to have to dive deep and become the next best version of ourselves so that we can lead the next version of our team into this. And I think, you know, we need to understand this process. And that's why we're pouring into personal development. Somebody, I think in our chat, actually shared that today. Maybe you've heard the quote, network marketing is a personal development plan with a compensation plan attached. I think that's a Bob Heilig quote. And that's why we're reading books like Energy Bus, and we're reading John Maxwell, and we're pouring over Ed Mylett podcasts and doing the inner healing work that nobody sees, because ultimately we are working to attract and lead other people on our team. And the way to do that is to become somebody that other people want to link arms with and follow. And so, you know, when we're sharing our links and our products, which we still obviously have to do, I mean, we have to get in our stories, we have to sell products, we have to recruit new VIPs who the goal is to help become business builders and share the vision of this opportunity with. We just need to approach it from the perspective of a leader. It's different than throwing up a casual link of a pack of Amazon shirts that you bought or a self-tanner that you love. You know, when we talk about this and share this, we share it with passion, because we understand the power that the network marketing model has. You know that when you link arms with somebody, or when somebody links arms with you, you know what they're going to get with this. They're going to join a chat. They're going to join our community. And they're not just getting an affiliate link. They are joining a community. They're going to get education like we just got from Rebecca. They're going to invest in personal growth. You are going to make a personal investment in them. And that's how I think we should be showing up and sharing this every day, knowing what's on the other side of that person saying yes. And I think that's what helps us show up and be unapologetic about sharing this, because Shannon knows, Libby knows, because I'm using y'all as an example because I know y'all have been in some business conversations this week. You are being bold about this business. You know what you have to offer somebody when you reach out and you offer this opportunity. You know what you have to offer them in terms of getting them connected to a community, getting them connected with events and, you know, different things that we're doing with our teams. You know what hangs in the balance for them, and you know what you have to offer. And that's why when we're doing our daily activity, that the reaching out to business builders and customer care and recruitment, like that's one of our top 20%. If you're reading 10X with us, that's one of your top 10% activities. And if you aren't currently finding new business builders, two things you're focusing on is simply having more conversations. Shannon has been so good. We've been having those conversations. I'm just not in enough conversations, she says. And I think that like we all need to be honest with ourselves. And if you're only having 1 or 2 business conversations a week, you guys, it's not enough. We are network marketers. We have to grow our network and we have to market what we have. So you need to simply be having more business conversations and working on yourself. More conversations, working on yourself. More conversations, working on yourself. And if you are in a cycle of doing those two things, you're going to be constantly building yourself into the person that you're reaching out to. You're going to be constantly building yourself into the person that the person you're reaching out to is looking for. So you can continue having those confident conversations. So I just think that's a good mentality for us to get in, especially for those of us, well, for all of us, whether you've been in this for 3 weeks or you've been in this for 5 years, if you're still treating this like an affiliate model, that's fine. Just understand that you're going to make affiliate income with this. The true freedom comes with becoming the leveled up version of yourself and bringing other people along that ride with you. So just a quick word tonight, but that's what I think of when I think of convention. And that's really the celebration that we're going to get to celebrate next week, is all of those men and women that are walking across the stage and we're celebrating their accomplishments. It's not because they were good at sharing an affiliate link. It's not because they recruited 100 people into their business. It's because they built and developed new leaders. So that's what I'm fired up about and excited to share more about, you know, as we're leading into convention and just continue to lead with in my own business. So
Can I just add something real quick, Chelsea?
yeah, sure.
I remember you guys, the very first leaders retreat that I earned, like that's a leadership trip that they do outside of convention. And the very first time I went to leaders retreat, they called every diamond in the room up to the stage at the time. And I want to say it was like 50 something people that were there. It wasn't a whole lot. And I just remember the president saying, every single one of these people are from different states, even different countries, different socioeconomic backgrounds, different places in their health journey, different ages, different, like just, it was the, you know, everything from A to Z. And I just remember thinking, there's a place for me too. Like truly anybody can do this. So I want you guys to know that, because when you come to convention, you are going to see everything from A to Z, because it's the entire company. So you're going to see people who just joined Plexus yesterday and, you know, and you're going to see people who've been with the company for over a decade. So, and they will, they always do a great job of recognition, of calling out, you know, different ranks. Every single rank is honored. Every single rank, you know, you either stand up or you're on stage. And so, and I just want y'all to know, as you see everybody there, this, you know, whatever you aspire to be in this, as far as rank goes, I mean, you can absolutely do it, because you're going to see, oh my gosh, like if all these people can do it, I can do it too. Like there is a place for me in this. I just want you to know that, like it's truly here for the taking. And that's why I really love the message that you shared, Chelsea. It's like, just being unapologetic and very clear about this opportunity that we have. Because I just had a conversation with someone the other day. I don't consider myself an expert in this industry, but being with this company for 10 years, and when I started with Plexus, I had zero knowledge of this industry. So I looked at a lot of compensation plans and a lot of companies, and I've met a lot of women networking and just in friendships over the years who are in other network marketing companies. there is no compensation plan that even comes close to touching ours. No compensation plan. That will be the hill I will die on with people. So I want y'all to know, like, we truly have something amazing, and it is on us to just, have the guts to tell people about it. So I'm excited to see you guys at convention. We're going to do a team meet and greet, and I want you to know, get the most out of convention. Wear some comfy shoes, especially in Vegas, because you're going to be walking like crazy. You guys I might have a blazer on and in business casual, but I will have tennis shoes on. So just be prepared. It's a lot of walking, and, just come into, I always like to come into it with the best mindset of, I'm going to try to sit as close as I can. I want to get the most out of this. Chelsea and Noelle, like, we all do great jobs of, kind of wrangling our teams, telling everybody where we're sitting. And if you can sit with the team, great. If not, it's okay. Sometimes I walk in and I'm sitting by myself. Like, I want you to have the mindset that I'm going to get everything out of this convention. So don't beat yourself up if you're not sitting with somebody else. Like, just come into it with the mindset that you're getting the most out of this. I swear you guys are going to come out of this convention a new person. I always do, and just ramped up and so excited. And they are coming out with some new products, and it's going to be such a great thing. So I can't wait to see all you guys that are coming. And for those of you who can't make it, I do a thread, and I'm going to jump in the team threads here. I do like a message thread on Facebook for the people who can't come. Historically, I've had people on my team who can't make it, and I like to get in there and just, drop them what Plexus is kind of announcing and all the fun stuff, even though they can't be there. So I will surely reach out to everybody if you want to be in that thread of mine. I go into the swag store and give some fun stuff away, and it's really cool. So I am pumped, you guys. I'm so excited for a convention. So
Can I say one thing? I just want to encourage everyone, because this will be my 9th convention, and everybody who knows me knows I'm an event junkie. I've never missed an event in 9 years. Meet as many people as possible. I know sometimes you will go and you will just hang out with your people, but honestly, I used to go and be like, oh, I got to sit with all the people. But then I realized the greatest friendships I made were from sitting randomly by myself or talking to strangers. And one of the greatest things we have with Plexus is our One Plexus. You will find power partners, running partners. Like, each convention, I would meet someone who was at the same space as me that we could run together, and they learn different things on their teams. So the cool thing is you can share with each other. So that's something that I always think is like really, really important, is to get out of your comfort zone, go meet some people, and challenge yourself to do that. And Chelsea, I just wanted to say, I love what you were talking about, because one of the girls on my team messaged me today and said, okay, well, I think we were on a call. And she said, well, how do I talk more about the business without fear? And I said, I used to be someone who talked only about products because the products saved my life. But honestly, it was the business that saved my life. It was this community. It was the income. It was the freedom to stay home with my kids, the products. It was everything. So if you're only sharing one part of it, you're not doing any justice. And if you're not connecting them to other people, you're also not doing them justice, which I'm only saying this from experience. I used to do that. I'd sign people up and not tell them about the team calls or the team pages or all the community and the business opportunity. Like, if you truly want to love and serve on others and you want to follow your purpose from God, you need to tell people everything that's available and show them that they are capable of it. I mean, God put us here for a big purpose. And if we are not showing people this, we are not serving them. So that's a big one for me.
That's so good. That's so good. I will close with like reiterating everything that Maggie and Noelle and Steph have said. Use convention, those of you who are going, as the biggest networking event that you will ever go to. I remember my first couple of years where I was still nervous about meeting new people, and my conversation skills were still not like where they needed to be. I didn't know anybody my first convention. Stephanie was literally the only person I knew, and I had just met her in person. and she was a jewel. So I didn't get to sit with her every time. She had super duper special seating. So everywhere I went, I was sitting beside somebody new. And so I made it a point to meet the people that I was around, take pictures with them, get to know their testimony. You're creating content by doing that. Every picture that you take with someone that you meet, that's a testimony that you can share, and you have a personal connection now. And I love what either Maggie or Stephanie said, like the jewels are like, this is, and I'll just speak, like, we love meeting new people at these events too. So don't be afraid. Like, if you recognize somebody from social media, go get a picture with them and ask them, like, what's your top tip? What are you doing what is your team doing that's working for you right now? This is an opportunity for you to be in the room with some of the top growers in our company. So just like Stephanie said, not to belabor the point, but just squeeze everything that you can out of convention. Go into every single session. What can I learn? Who can I meet? Who can I talk to? And I promise you're going to be better for it leaving out of there. And yes, friend everybody, connect with everybody on social media. This is probably like the one place where it's not weird to just pull up Instagram and pull up Facebook and friend people. I love that.
Is that weird? I do it everywhere. I just did it in the grocery store.
Oh my God, love you.
Most of the conventions, you guys too, the president and, you know, people on stage speaking will tell you, because, you know, when you register, you get a lanyard, and like, typically in the past, it's been like diamonds have a white one, emerald have a green one, sapphire have a blue one. And they, in the past at previous conventions, have said, if you see someone who has a jewel lanyard on and you're brand new here or not of a jewel status yet, like, pull them aside and ask them for their top tip. Like the top tip, you know, so I threw that in the chat here. You guys aren't going to offend anybody, and it's not going to be weird. Seriously, this is the place to do it. So certainly don't feel shy if you're on an elevator with somebody and you're like, hey, what is your top, I see you're a diamond. What's your top tip in this? Cause I think that's so fun. And I know a lot of them that I know personally love being asked that. I do myself as well. Like, that is the place to do it. So.
And if Steph is near you, I will never forget Jill Renfro was walking past. Steph and I were having a conversation, my first convention. And I love Jill Renfro. If you don't know Jill Renfro, she's wonderful. And I remember Steph was like, Libs, have you met her yet? And I was like, no, please don't do that to me right now. And she like called her over, and I remember I just like met her and I just cried, and it was wonderful. So Steph knows that you want to meet somebody, she'll introduce you too.
Yeah, you had a fangirl moment, Libs, and Jill's amazing. Yeah. So.
All right. As we close, I need y'all to know this is actually really good. So, you know, I have one Barbie item that I do like, so maybe I'll bring some of this to convention.
Hey, Chelsea, sorry to cut you off, but there was a good question in there. Steph, what's your top tip?
I saw that, Maggie. I was just commenting back that I was going to jump in the convention thread and answer that. I would say my top tip would be to never quit. To never quit. Don't take a break. You can take a breather, but don't take a break. You know, the people that I see that stand the test of time in this have a growth mindset. They're willing to figure it out. They're willing to pivot. They're willing to do whatever it takes. They understand that there are seasons. You're going to have slumps. You're going to have ups and downs. I certainly have myself. But they just have this never quit mindset, this growth mindset that I'm going to figure it out, because more often than not, most people will quit way before then. Yeah.
That's so good.
And what's yours, Chels?
I think mine is to have like a level up attitude, and everything is figure outable. I've been through, I was thinking about this today, actually. Like, I've been through so many seasons of my business where either motherhood was really hard, like it is right now for me. Like, it's really hard right now for me, and it's requiring a lot of extra time with an intentionality. There have been different seasons where my like 9 to 5 was really hard, where Jason coaching has been really hard. And it's like, Lord, I don't know if this is sustainable, but I have always figured out a way to do this business and like level up. And there's always like another corner that you can turn for that next level of your business. But it goes along with what Stephanie says. If you quit, you'll never get there. you know? And I feel like I'm a place in my business now where I'm like, even though we're going through these things behind the scenes, my business is in such a stable place. And I am in such a mentally stable place that I wouldn't have gotten to if I had not been through those tough seasons. So just have that level up mindset. Like, I'm not going anywhere. So what do I need to do? What do I need to grow and learn to get to the next level?
And you got to give yourselves a whole lot of grace throughout this process, because I've always said this, Chelsea's heard me say this, and Noelle's heard me say this. If you get to diamond and you're on the brink of a divorce, you don't have a great relationship with your children, your friendships have suffered, all the things, nothing is worth that paycheck. So you got to give yourself a whole lot of grace throughout the process. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, Maggie, because I have quite a few, but the number one, top one would be what you focus on, you create. So if you're focusing on what's wrong or comparing yourself to other people or what Plexus hasn't done for you or what leaders you don't have, you're going to create more of that. But if you focus on being that emerald, that diamond, that person that you want to be, and focus on what you can do. And I also always think everybody should know what you do. If you're not telling every person what you do, then, you know, you're not connecting them to it. So if you know anyone in your life that doesn't know what you do, you better call them up and tell them what you do and be proud of it. But yeah, what you focus on, you create. And like Chelsea said, self-development. I have spent more time and money on self-growth. I have coaches that call me out, that freak me out, and I constantly look at what I can improve on and how I can level up. So focus on what you want and get the coaching. You guys are lucky because you have, you know, a bunch of us on here that are willing to coach you for free, you know? So I would definitely take advantage of that.
Oh, I can't wait to hug y'all next week. 6 days.
So exciting.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Thanks, Rebecca. I love you.
Night, y'all.